A proper understanding of how images work is massive if you want to master Docker. In fact, it's so important, the next 2 entire modules are dedicated to them. In this one, we'll crack open the implementation stuff like how the heck is an image even constructed and what's inside it and the likes. Then, in the next one, we'll look a bit more at how we build our own images. So for this module, we're looking like this. We'll do a quick big picture to cover off the main concepts, and it will be quick. If you're super new to this stuff, then I highly recommend taking my Getting Started course first. Now, I can't force you, but beware, right, this is going to be a bit of a deep dive. Anyway, after that, we'll dig into how they're built, like what's all this layering stuff and what are these crypto IDs all about? Then we'll do registries, we'll share a few best practices, and then we'll bring it all together with a solid recap. Now, honestly, I'm going to be as hands-on as I possibly can, so plenty of examples and poking around on the CLI. You're obviously welcome to follow along in your own lab, or you can just sit and watch. Either way, I think it's going to be fun. Now, as hands-on as we are, we're still going to be explaining a bunch of theory along the way. But I've got the PowerPoint shakes from the last module. Nearly 40 hours just on the slides for that one. I'm worried I've done some irreversible damage. So slides will be kept to a minimum. Anyway, I think that's the plan. Oh, and although most of what I'm going to show is going to be from a Linux machine, we'll cover the Windows stuff too. Just don't sweat it if I don't log onto a Windows machine. Remember, most of the stuff's the same between the two, so it shouldn't really matter which platform I'm on. Also, right, we're gonna cover a bunch of exam stuff, and all of it from domain 2. So, we'll use the command line to play with images. We'll inspect images and look at specific attributes. We'll push an image to a registry and pull an image from a registry. Describe how layers work and look at layers. And we'll delete an image, tag one, and store one in a registry. Well, let's crack on. So a quick big picture. Hopefully you've completed Getting Started with Docker as a prereq. That's the idea, but it's your call. We're cracking on. An image is a read-only template for creating application containers. Inside of it is all the code and supporting files to run an application. Now, images are build time constructs, and containers are their runtime siblings. So think of a container as maybe a running image, or I suppose vice versa, an image as a stopped container. Either way, right, all an image really is, and we're high level at the moment, remember, but is a bunch of files and a manifest. The files obviously include your app files, but they're also going to be all the OS and the library files and stuff that your app needs to run, and ideally, just the ones it needs to run. Then the manifest is a JSON file explaining how it all fits together. Now then, drilling a bit deeper. An image is a bunch of layers that are stacked on top of each other. That's why I'm always drawing them like this. But it looks and feels like a unified file system. So the stacking's important, and we'll get to all the luscious details soon. But for now, there's magic going on to hide all of this layering and make it feel like a single flat image. Anyway, we take this and we start containers from it. So umpteen containers, all sharing a single image. And it's insane for efficiency in container start times. Now we store images in a registry, which could be cloud or on-prem, and we pull them down to our hosts using the Docker image pull command. Once on our hosts, we can start containers from them. Now, we're only showing a couple of containers for simplicity, but remember, they are both sharing a single image, and the image is read-only. So, how do the containers write stuff? I mean, read-only and writing? I don't know about you, but from my experience, they're usually not a great combo. Well, for each container, we create a thin writable layer, and effectively lash it on top of the read-only image. Then, any writes and updates the container needs to make get performed here. And because the writable layer pretty much is the container, then it is a one-to-many relationship with the image here. One writable layer per container. Details to follow, yeah? But I think that's the big picture. The templates for starting containers, the read-only, and the shareable. Under the covers, it's a bunch of layers and a JSON manifest. Love it. Let's crack on with the detail. Buckle up, 'Cause it's hands-on time. We set an image as a bunch of layers, we read the manifest file, we stack them up, then we throw in some magic to make it all look unified. Well, you know what? To get an image in the first place, we